So people, in question number 12, water is brought to boil under pressure of 1 atm. When an electric current of 0.5 amperes from 12 volt supply is passed for 300 seconds through a resistance in thermal contact with it, it is found that 0.789 grams of water is vaporized. Calculate the molar internal energy and enthalpy changes at the boiling point. Sandeep.
So again, this question looks something different, right? So
It does.
they're asking us to find molar internal energy and enthalpy change at boiling point.
Right.
In the sense, some phase change is happening, right?
Correct.
So water in liquid state, it is converting into water in gaseous form, right? And how are we doing it actually? And why is it happening? We are supplying some heat
Yeah,
by using some coil, right?
exactly.
So we have a system, we are using some coil, resistance, and we are current,
Correct.
right? We have water in this, and because of the heat supply, this water, it is converting into vapor, right?
Yeah.
So first we need to calculate how much heat that we are supplying,
Right.
right? So delta H, heat that we are supplying, it is equal to I into V into time.
Right.
I is the current that we pass,
Hmm.
and V is the voltage,
Hmm.
and T is the time for which we pass that current,
Correct.
right? So this is power, actually power formula.
Hmm.
So this much amount of heat we are supplying to the
Right.
system, right? So 0.5 amperes into V, 12 volts into 300 seconds.
Hmm.
This gives us 1800 joules or 1.8 kilojoules,
Correct.
right? So 1.8 kilojoules of energy we are giving into the system
Hmm.
by using this coil,
Right.
right? So this one, it is used by the system for getting vaporized,
Hmm.
right? So in the question they gave us that 0.789 grams of water is vaporized,
Right.
right? So 0.789 grams of water, it is converted into vapor form,
Correct.
right? In the sense 0.789 by 18 moles
Hmm.
of water is converted, right?
Right.
Since 18 is molecular weight of water, right? So in our first part they asked us to find molar internal energy,
Hmm.
right? So first we'll calculate what is the heat required for getting this one vaporized,
Right.
molar heat required per mole, right? So
So we
Point-
have heat required for 0.789 by 18 moles.
Exactly.
Which is converted into 1 mole.
this one is for 1.8 kilojoules, it is used by this much, means we are using 1.8 kilojoules and we are converting 0.789 by 18 moles into vapor form,
Correct.
right? For converting 1 mole, how much heat do we require?
Divide 1.8 kilojoules by
Exactly.
0.789 by 18.
Here we get delta Hm, that is molar heat required, right? That one we get it as 40.6 kilojoules per mole,
Right.
right? See, this is kilojoules per 0.789 grams and this is per 1 mole
Right.
per 18 grams,
Yeah.
right? So since we need to calculate molar internal energy change, so what is the equation that we know for enthalpy and internal energy relation?
Same, delta H equals delta U plus P delta V.
Exactly. We know that delta H equal to delta U plus P delta V. And here the task is that how to get this P delta V. We need to
Right.
find delta U and we have this delta H since we calculated it.
Correct.
So how to get P delta V? In the question we don't have any hints about pressure or change in volume.
Right.
Right. So what can we do other than P delta V?
Use
What we have?
PV equals nRT.
Exactly. So delta nRT.
Correct.
Right. So since here water in liquid state, it is getting converted into water in gaseous form, right? What is delta N? Change in number of moles of gas from products minus reactants, right? And number of moles of gas in products is 1,
Right.
minus in reactants only liquid, right? No gaseous form. 0.
Zero.
So delta n is 1.
Correct.
Right. So delta H equal to delta U plus delta nRT. That gives us delta U, change in internal energy, equal to delta Hm, that is molar form,
Right.
minus delta nRT, means RT, and is 1, right?
Yeah, delta is 1, yeah.
Yeah. This is 40.6 kilojoules
Mm-hmm.
minus R value is 8.314 joules. Means
Correct.
8.314 into 10 power minus 3 kilojoules.
Right.
Right, into temperature, since the whole thing is happening at 100 degrees centigrade,
Hmm.
right? Since boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade,
Correct.
right? So in Kelvin it will be 373.
Yeah.
So into 373,
Mm-hmm.
this gives us 37.5 kilojoules per mole. So this is the change in internal energy, right? Molar internal energy
Correct.
at boiling point. So in this question, actually what we did is that till now in every question they gave us directly about how much heat is supplied
Yeah.
or how much heat is taken from the system.
Yeah.
But in this question they gave it an alternative way. We are using
Correct.
a heat coil and we are supplying energy, right?
Yeah.
As heat. So first we calculated the heat that we supplied.
Mhm.
Then we calculated about molar heat of vaporization. Then
Right.
we calculated our required thing, that is molar change in internal energy.
Correct.
And this is our answer.
Okay, guys, we'll move on to the 13th question now. Now, the question number 13 says that the internal energy change in conversion of 1 mole of calcite form of calcium carbonate to argonite form is 0.21 kilojoules. Calculate the enthalpy change when the pressure is 1 bar. Given are the densities of solids that are 2.75 gram per centimeter cube and 2.93 gram per centimeter cube respectively.
So again in this question also it involves some phase change, right? So from calcium carbonate, calcite form to argonite form, right?
Right.
Basically there are two structural forms of CaCO3 and we are not concerned about how is it actually, right? Here our task is to find the enthalpy change when pressure is 1 bar, right? So they gave about densities of two forms and everything.
Yeah.
So start with the basic equation what you know. They asked us enthalpy change, right?
Right.
So the basic equation is delta H equal to delta U plus P delta V,
Right.
right? So we are starting from this equation and they gave that internal energy change is 0.21 kilojoules. So they gave this value directly, 0.21 kilojoules.
Yeah.
And here our task is to find out work done, P delta V.
Right.
And here there is a phase change, right? So CaCO3 it is converting from one form to another form.
Correct.
And how can we calculate work done? See, till now we calculated work done in two processes, right? Either we saw P delta V or we calculated delta N RT,
Right.
right? So delta N RT usually we did when when there is involvement of some gases, right?
Correct.
So but this is totally solid form.
Yeah.
We can't use delta N RT.
But we can still calculate the change in volume, right?
Yes, change in volume since we know density,
Correct.
right? What is density? Mass by volume,
Volume. Yeah.
right? They gave us densities,
Right.
so we can calculate volume.
And since we have number of moles, we have the mass also.
Exactly. See, given in the question that 1 mole of calcite or calcium carbonate, 1 mole of CaCO3. So weight of that one is 100 grams. So we know mass
Right.
and we need to find out V. So delta V equal to M1 by rho 1 minus M2 by rho 2.
Right.
Right. So this is 100 by 2.9 what is the value that they gave in question? 93 and 2.71, right?
Yeah.
2.93 minus 100 by 2.71, right?
Right.
So this one we get it as 2.77 minus of 2.77, right? And it is given in grams per centimeter cube units.
Yeah.
So this
Our
one will
mass
be
was in grams, so it will come out to be centimeter cubes, right?
centimeter cube mole inverse, since this is for 1 mole.
Yeah.
100 grams is for 1 mole, right?
Yeah.
Right.
True.
So this one is minus of 0.277 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube.
Right.
I just converted centimeter cube into meter cube.
Yeah.
That's it, right? So again back to our equation. Delta H equal to delta U plus P delta V.
Yeah.
So this is delta V,
Hmm.
right? And pressure, they gave it as 1 bar,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So P equal to 1 bar implies 10 power 5 pascals,
Hmm.
right? And internal energy, they gave it in the question directly, 0.21 kilojoules. In the sense 0.21 into 10 power 3 joules, right? Plus minus of this one is minus 2.77, right?
Right.
Minus 2.77 into 10 power minus 6, and pressure is 1 bar, that is 10 power 5 pascals.
Right.
So doing these calculations, we get it as 209.72 joules or 0.21 kilojoules per mole. So in this question what we did is that, see, they gave calcium carbonate conversion from one form to other,
Right.
and they asked us to find enthalpy change. So we started with our basic equation, and the main task here is that finding delta V, change in volume, and we calculated it by using the densities that they gave in the question,
Right. Right.
right? So whenever you are calculating delta H,
Yeah.
and so whenever you need to find out work done, so remember that either you can calculate it by P delta V or delta N RT.
Correct.
So do it as given in the question, means with the hints that are given in the question.
Right. Right. Okay. We'll move on to the last question now. It's time for us to take up the last and the 14th question. Acetic acid, which is CH3COOH, can form a dimer, which is CH3COOH whole twice, which is in gaseous form. The dimer is held together by two hydrogen bonds with a total strength of 66.5 kilojoules per mole of dimer at 25 degrees centigrade. The equilibrium constant for the dimerization is 1.3 into 10 to the power 3. What is the delta S naught for the reaction?
So in this question they gave us that acetic acid, it is forming a dimer, right? CH3COOH right?
Correct.
So this is the dimer that is forming.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave that hydrogen bond strength is 66.5 kilojoules per mole. So here bonds are forming, right?
Right.
When bonds are forming, energy is released,
Hmm.
right?
Correct.
When we are breaking bonds, we need to supply some energy,
Exactly.
right? And when some bond is forming, some energy is released.
Yeah.
Right.
The reverse of that. Yeah.
Exactly. So delta H here will be minus of 66.5 kilojoules per mole. Why is
Right.
this negative sign? Since
Because the heat is released. It's getting out of the
system, right? So this negative sign,
Right.
right? And they gave that the temperature is 25 degrees centigrade.
Hmm. Right.
And this one, it is happening in some vessel, right? So
Correct.
we consider it as atmospheric pressure, right? Since they didn't mention any pressure, so we consider it as atmospheric pressure. It is happening in some vessel.
Right.
So these are standard conditions, 25 degrees centigrade and 1 atmosphere. So the delta H that we got here is delta H naught.
So you're saying if it's mentioned in the question standard conditions, 25 degrees centigrade, 1
1
atmosphere.
atmosphere, exactly.
Right.
So at standard conditions, we put everything as naught. Delta
Right.
H naught, delta S naught, exactly, right?
Yeah.
They asked us to find delta
So even
S.
if they do not mention standard conditions, if the question is asking for delta S naught or delta G naught, it means that you are
we need to calculate standard conditions.
correct.
See, if they asked us to find delta S,
Naught.
then it is calculating entropy change at normal conditions. Here in the question itself they mention delta S naught.
Yeah.
In the sense we need to calculate it standard conditions. That is 25 degrees centigrade and 1 atmosphere.
Correct.
Right. So, see, we know delta H naught
Yeah.
and we need to find delta S naught. What is the only relation that we know between delta H and delta S? Let's start from it. We know from Gibbs free energy.
Right.
Do you remember? We
Yeah.
covered it
Delta
in
G. Delta G equals delta H minus T delta S.
exactly. So from Gibbs free energy relation we know that del G it is equal to del H minus T delta S.
Right.
We need to calculate standard conditions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So del G naught equal to del H naught minus T del S naught.
Yeah.
We know delta H naught.
Right.
They gave it. We need to find out this one. We know temperature,
Right.
but we need to know delta G naught.
Correct.
Right. So how can we get delta G naught? So let's look up into the question again. Here in the question they gave that equilibrium constant 1.3 into 10 power 3. So how can we use it to get delta G? We know the relation between equilibrium constant and delta G naught. It is delta G naught equal to minus 2.303 RT log K.
Yeah.
So remember this formula. This is the relation between equilibrium constant and delta G naught.
Right.
Right. So we know K, temperature and R. So we can find delta G naught. So once if we get delta G naught, we can get delta S naught. So this is our idea to solve the question. And so calculating here minus 2.303 into 8.314 into 10 power minus 3 kilojoules. Right. Into 298 Kelvin. Right. Since 25 degrees centigrade, right?
Correct.
298 Kelvin into log of K, that is 1.3 into 10 power 3.
Yeah.
So calculating this, we get it as 17.77 kilojoules.
Right.
This is delta G naught. That is a free energy chain at standard conditions.
That's for every mole, is it?
Exactly. Now, delta S naught. From this previous equation, we get it as delta H naught minus delta G naught by T.
Right.
Right. So calculating this one, here we get minus 66.5.
Correct.
This is the enthalpy they gave in the question that is released. Right.
Right.
Minus delta G naught that we calculated 17.77. Sorry, here we have a negative sign, right? So delta G free energy is negative.
Correct.
Since a reaction can be spontaneous only when it is negative, right?
Yeah.
Delta G should be less than 0. Remember it.
Yeah.
Yes, this is negative.
So
and
basically for the feasible reactions, delta G should always be less than 0.
less than 0.
Gibbs free
Exactly. So this one is this one. 66.5 minus of minus 17.77
Yeah.
by temperature. Standard conditions.
Right.
25 degrees centigrade.
298 kelvins.
298 Kelvin.
Yeah.
Right. So by calculating this, we get it as minus 0.1635 kilojoules per mole Kelvin. In the
Yeah.
sense, entropy is decreasing. Right.
Oh, okay.
So what is basic definition of entropy? It is degree of randomness, right? So as two molecules, they are combining and forming one molecule, randomness is decreasing, right?
Right.
So delta is, that's why we are getting it as negative. Right.
Yeah.
And in this question what we actually did is that we need to find delta S naught. So first we started with standard conditions. Then for calculating delta S, we use the help of free energy. Delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S. Since that is the only relation we know between enthalpy and delta S. So we started with that and we calculated delta H, delta G naught and finally with delta S naught.
Right. So guys, this brings us to the end of the problem set. We dealt with a few challenging problems and a lot of formula. Keep revising, keep practicing more and more questions before you write your exam. All the best.